Joseph here from Eightcap. Thank you for tuning into today's update. So we're looking at the NDX 100 index. So the S&P 500 also shares some similarities. We chose this one over the US 30 and the S&P because it does look a touch better zoomed in. The S&P also looks pretty good, but we'll run over some of the things we're looking at. The key areas are highlighted at the moment. And just before we look at the price, there is some key news coming out tonight. This is the US CPI data, core, and the month-on-month CPI plus the year-on-year CPI, looking for 0.3%, down from 0.4% for both the core and the month CPI month-on-month. And for the year-on-year, they're looking for 3.4, which is a slight increase from the last 3.2% that we saw in the last data. So that's really the theme this week. We have the meeting minutes coming out tomorrow, the PPI coming out later in the week, and so it's pretty much it's quite inflationary driven and focused this week. So I think, do we see any surprises? We have heard. I did read earlier today that there was reported that there's a fair bit of short interest in the markets in the moment. Doesn't really surprise you when you do see the current price structure that we're seeing. So if we do see a surprise to the upside, is it going to set off some quick selling? Is the consolidation we're seeing at the moment more of a distribution type pattern than accumulation or a consolidation in the trend? These may be some of the answers that we'll get answers for later today, depending on what we see in the data. I think the meeting minutes as well could play a bit of a part. But tonight, if we do see any surprises in the CPI, if it is surprises to the upside, we'll look for the dollar to increase. Maybe a bit of heat to be put onto risk assets like stocks, and risk currencies, obviously, if the dollar's rising, will generally be moving lower. So I think it really comes down to with stocks is how much does it increase and how much does it impact on expectations of rate cuts this year, which have been dashed a little bit earlier in the year. So the higher that does come in, the more pressure it may put on that expectation of rate cuts, and then that may lead to selling. So if we do see surprise to the downside, we do, price wise, we are seeing some signs here that buyers are trying to put up a decent stand. So we have a consolidation that is quite visible here. We have this price that's broken through the fast trend. We still have that longer term key uptrend as well. It does look a little bit top heavy at the moment, but it has looked top heavy before some of these areas here, and we've seen new moves higher from buyers. So there's no guarantee that just because this area looks a little bit top heavy, we're going to see a move lower. If we zoom right in, the area that interests us at the moment is we had this really strong move down. It's come back to these key supports, to continue to buyers have defended the support area and the range. Then they've bought back up, and there's plenty of demand late last week, and then yesterday after a good move down by sellers to sort of get a move going, which was pretty much rejected pretty swiftly, and then we saw a higher close. So if we do see another move higher, that could break what is a very small inside trend line here. Mark that there, and we can see a break there that could confirm it. Then we'll need to see a move back up to test and break this resistance. I think that's where the issue is going to come in for buyers. It wouldn't be out of this world or quite surprising if we did see another move up back into this resistance area. That's where really buyers have the hard run to complete to try and get through this area. This area has really been holding all the way back to the 1st of March. We've seen plenty of attempts that have failed. That's probably the best attempt there on the 21st of March. Had a nice run up to test 118.91 in trading view prices, and that was quickly rejected. We saw that move down. So higher low here, another higher low. So there's plenty of inside action there for buyers. We do wonder if the CPI does come out on the side of buyers, that we're going to see a move back up at least to test that resistance there. If we do see any surprises to the upside in the CPI, that could put a bit of pressure on this area here, and then we'd like to see just how many buyers are left to defend that area if we do see another move down. For sellers, once again, this is the key area. If they can break this area, they could set up a deeper correction / reaction, which we could see get back down to test some, this low here at 118. 111.53, then and down this area 110.45 as well as target areas. Could then, even if we did get back to this area here, I would expect to see a little bit of potential fight back with consolidation high here. But first things really first, we need to see what happens next, and if we can see a breakout of this current range. So if there was a strong breakout above this area, you could look to take a long position, and then just obviously manage your risk very strictly to how you are currently managing risk to your account. There should really be no more than 1% of your total account on any one trade to the stop loss point. And then again, if we did have a breakthrough of this area here, could we see then short moves below there? Again, if we did see this area here tested, there could see some fight back from buyers around this area, and sellers wise, any move above here is a new record, so it'll be into fresh territory. So that's really some of the keys we are watching at this point today. This what we do see from the CPI and the meeting minutes tomorrow. They're generally the two more important ones above the PPI, unless we see something very shocking in that data. There's plenty of volume building as well at the moment in this area here, so there's been a real tussle going on. It's going to be quite interesting to see what happens next. If we do see buyers continue to push higher at this resistance, or if we do see another move down to test support. So the CPI data comes out at local time, Australian time at 10:30 p.m. and the FOMC meeting minutes will be early tomorrow morning at 4 a.m. on Thursday. So that's it for today's update. Sorry, a little bit longer than normal. Appreciate your time if you are continuing to watch at this point, and we wish you all the best with your trading for the rest of the week. Thanks again, and bye for now.